Was good. I just picked up a Spark order. It is 3068 for 1.3 miles. So about an hour for $30. It's probably gonna take me more than that. I gotta drive there first. But driving there is only about 6-7 minutes. So we're gonna get started and enjoy the ride. Alright, made it here to Walmart. It is now 4:58 p.m. Parked right next to the cart thing, which is key. So we'll see what time I get back. 57 items, I believe. Whew. So that order sucked in basically all of the ways an order can suck in. It is now 6:34, so an hour and a half since I started shopping, and more than that since I picked up the order. I am starting it now. It's an apartment, which is always the worst. Hopefully it's not on the 3rd floor. It was just a bunch of items that, like random items that fit weird and stuff. Here we are. But it filled it out pretty good. I got stuff in the trunk, I got stuff up here. It's a pretty big size order. Thank goodness it's pretty close. Hopefully they pinned it on Spark. There were some perishables, but it mapped it out pretty well actually in the end for shopping. It looks like they mapped it, so I'm really hoping we get lucky. It is only 6 minutes away. Let's get started. That order sucked. It is now 6:58, so literally pretty much exactly 2 hours, $30. About 15 an hour and only like less than 2 miles, or total it was like 6 miles on gas or something like that probably, but enough to pay for dinner and a beer or something. I'll take it. It's nice outside. Beautiful day. It is currently 92 degrees outside at 7 p.m. Damn. That's crazy. So we're going to be checking out some orders here. Got another one. That one's bad. I'll hop back in when we are getting going on something. Got an offer just for me, 4 miles, $17 about, but it was 2 apartments. If it was 2 houses and 1 apartment, I would probably take it, but it was 2 apartments and 1 house, so no thank you. This order here takes me way out up there, and ain't no way. I'm not even by there. I'm not going out there. 7 stops, $46. Yeah, no. house. That is nice. It's all houses, but I mean, you're gonna end up there in the middle of nowhere, so it's not worth it. $16, 14 miles. Nope. Gotta be kidding me. Got a Diet Pepsi here. That is not cold anymore. It happens. We'll be back. I just remembered there were half off ground chuck patties. Something, whatever they're called, at Walmart. Like hamburger patties. And they're supposed to be $8. They're $4 for 4 of them. So I want to get those for tomorrow. But I do have a DoorDash insulated pizza bag in my trunk. It's 92 out right now. I might throw them in there, throw them in the frunk. And I don't know, stuff, the frunk, even though it's not protected at all, it's decently insulated it seems, just because there's not glass to let the sun in. It's just, the panel of the hood. So might go back to Walmart and pick up those patties. Alright, we're back at Walmart. It's 7:13 p.m. Walmart's open till like 11 p.m. So I'm gonna stay out for a few more hours and then hopefully hit up Cane's for dinner or In-N-Out. We'll see. I want something not good and good. You know what I mean? So we're gonna sit here, just chilling, listen to Jack Bush on Joe Rogan. I love this dude. I've heard him a few times on different podcasts. Him and some other dude, I forget his name, that talks about 0 point energy. I don't know. They have something, their voice sounds similar. It sounds like they've been touched by the aliens or something. Like they know something. They've felt something. They understand something. And it's changed part of who they are and how they talk. Like literally the voice of like how they sound. Yeah. I'm just sitting here waiting for orders. Nothing here yet. I'll extend my time if it lets me to 11 p.m. Sure. There we go. Yeah, no. This order's been on there for a while. No one's taken it. I almost picked up, and I might, just because it's slow right now, that one with the 3 drop-offs for the pickup. So I might do that. Ooh, this one I'm right by an apartment. This one I'll take if the items are easy. Yeah, those items are easy enough. $15 for a easy drive and easy drive back. And I'll take it. Dang it, what if that was better? I'm not by that one. I think it's an accident when it lets you see other ones when you have a trip. Confirm arrival. Let's see what we got. Start at 8:24. Yeah, I'll follow that shopping path. That is perfect. We'll start shopping. Let's get out of here. Ooh, by the way, it is 7:16 p.m., 90 degrees out. I'll try to update when I get back. All right, that was quick and easy. It is 7:34 right now. We have a 6-minute drive to the drop-off place. Let's go. I just finished that order. It is now 7:46 and I'm just gonna head back to Walmart. We are 7 minutes away. So we get next. Alright, it is 7:54 p.m. We're here back at Walmart. I realized I forgot my extra batteries for my camera, my Osmo Action 4. Do I have a charger? I have a crappy charger, so we'll see how long I can keep on filming, hopefully throughout the rest of the night. Zach Bush was talking about autism, and I thought this part was interesting. Gonna play it here.
The antenna is opening up on humankind right now, and autism is our supercharged version of that. The autistic neurology is so wide open that we're going to have no choice but to start to remember everything. A kid flies over New York once, can remember the entire scape. That's what our antenna is capable of doing. Autistic children are not abnormally genius. They are minds that are unfiltered and bodies that are still in the context of nature. They have not separated. When I sit with an indigenous elder in Africa, the Khoi people, the Khoi have been around for 300,000 years. They have an unbroken oral history for 100,000 years, with the exception of that blank point, 11,000 to 7,000 years ago. And so they also suffered the amnesia. But 100,000 years of an oral tradition is spectacular. It's twice as long as anything else on the planet. Aboriginal, 40,000. Native Americans, 40,000. Deep Peru, 30,000. 100,000 years of uninterrupted information. You sit with one of these elders, and they have all of the experiential traits that the autistic community has. They can go to the hill. They can communicate telepathically with the forest system. They can tell you what the panther is saying. They can tell you what the moon cycle is saying, not because they've studied it, because they're literally just listening to the information. They're receiving the information. This new renaissance that's beginning is a biological reconnection that is going to be available to us. So much information that we're not going to sit here around listening to podcasts of wondering, scratching our heads about how did the pyramids happen? Like, we're going to start doing it again, because
I think there's a good amount of this podcast of what Zach is saying is pretty interesting to me, at least. It kind of resonates, puts into words a lot of things that I feel are true, but never. I don't know the science of it. I don't know that kind of stuff. And this dude is, I forget exactly what he is. He's a doctor, but he knows more than me, at least, about that stuff. But he's just saying kind of that autism, like, basically what I garner from it is that autism is so prevalent right now in the world because the world needs it. Like, the world ebbs and flows, and he's saying people with autism, they're more connected to nature. They still have stronger antenna to nature, so they feel more. And in the world of AI and machines that we are living with now, and that is gonna grow exponentially over the next decade, that feeling is all that we have. And he's talking how, like, cancer cells, what makes them cancer cells is that they are alone from all other cells. They aren't communicating with the group. They aren't a part of a unit. They don't have friends and family, community, that kind of thing. They're lonely. And those cancer cells, that loneliness eventually kills you. And that is what this world is going through right now, is a cancer epidemic, loneliness epidemic. And he's saying that is why we're seeing all these diseases, all this sickness, and the wealthiest nation in the world is that we aren't connected to nature. We can take in so much harmful things, but if you're not reconnecting to nature to neutralize those things, then your body eventually gives in. It can't fight it off. I highly recommend this episode of Joe Rogan, Jack Bush, 25, 29. This dude worked in hospice a lot, it sounds like, and has been by a lot of dying people. So he has a lot of wisdom and experience about a lot of things. Other than that, I'm still here. It's 8:20. Haven't gotten any orders. Well, orders have been coming through, but they all suck. Got a nice pink sky. Very pretty. But we got this thing charging up. I did have a charger cable, but just not a great one. So it's not charging too fast, but I'm just sitting here waiting. We'll see what's next.
Years, because fat stored in the liver, which is where everything gets redirected to if it can't burn in the cell, will ultimately give you insulin resistance. As you get insulin resistance, the insulin cannot get the carbohydrates into the cell anyways, and so now you're starving twice. You can't burn it at the mitochondrial level, and you can't get the sugar there. By the 1990s, we started to develop widespread allergies. The most energy demanding system in the body is the immune system. As the immune system started to fail in its metabolic capacity, relationships started to fail. And we suddenly started to develop a reactive relationship to the foods we were eating. Wheat in 1992 starts causing a massive allergy to gluten.
I can't stop thinking about how, like, your body, and I've been thinking about this for 10 years now, and people, just because it's something that people just don't seem to understand. Like, your body is trying to tell you something when it gives you issues like allergies, upset stomach, fatigue, back pain, neck pain, headache, even ankle pain, or like, it's like any symptom, any kind of pain or discomfort in your body, or mental health, depression, anxiety, anything. It's your body trying to tell you that something is wrong before it needs to tell you in a more serious way. So things like like, I truly believe, and I don't have any stories to back this up or science, but, like, you're gonna get signs of, like, before you get diabetes, you're gonna get other symptoms that if you listen to those symptoms when they populate and don't treat the symptoms but treat the underlying cause of the symptoms, if you treat the underlying cause, then you won't get the diabetes or the cancer or whatever else that you might get in your lifetime. But because we don't treat the underlying cause, so many people, like, they just go to the doctor, you get pain meds. So now, instead of having that pain, which your body was trying to use to tell you to treat the underlying cause before it got worse, now you're masking that pain, and then the symptoms that come up that are trying to warn you more and more, they're going to be masked, and then eventually you're just going to get the whole shebang. like so many things. Allergies, like, and that's why I had the podcast going, is he was talking about allergies, like the food we're eating, our diet and environment cause these allergies, and the allergies are a sign, a symptom to treat the underlying cause of your food and environment, or else they're going to get even worse things than allergies. And that's what happened, is we got the diabetes, allergies, autism, all these different diseases and stuff, because we separated ourselves, and we continue to separate ourselves more and more from our true nature. So that, listening to this podcast, I just put that on my mind, because it's something that I always think about. Like, when you, like, just because I notice it in other people, like when you have friends and things that are people you know that, like, keep on getting the same sickness or keep on looping through these same patterns or same relationship kind of things and this and that, it's like, it's easier to see from the outside, but once you do see it, you start to see it more. But I'm just sitting here waiting on orders. I think I got a few of them that popped up here, but don't look very good. Nope. Probably nope. It's 8:30. Barely made anything today. We made $46. I started at 5 p.m. pretty much. So 3.5 hours so far. Yeah. But this podcast's almost done. I haven't eaten anything today. So I don't know, once I eat, like, I'm not gonna keep going, so I might wait a little bit longer and then grab something to eat. I might grab something here at Walmart. I'm not sure what I'm feeling though, honestly. I'm feeling the Canes and In-N-Out, but I'm not near there, and I don't want to go. I don't want to drive the extra 10 minutes each way. I'm by a lot of food, so there's a lot of stuff around. Just I don't know what I'm feeling. We'll see. This is the very end of the podcast, but it wraps it up really nice and really interesting.
At that same phase. So there's what we're talking about is this deep programming of the biology as it goes away from center. by the time we had this much glyphosate in the system, so this whole cascade from 1976 to 2020, you're looking at this yellow line that's traveling up there. That's the amount of glyphosate sprayed into our global environment. Today we spray 3 billion to 4 billion pounds of glyphosate into our global soils. 3 billion pounds of anything is disgusting, but this is unbelievable amount of antibiotic. That much antibiotic has reduced the metabolic life force of our planet and our species to the point where we have a chronic disease explosion by the 1990s, and infertility collapse of the species, and then gender dysregulation. So this is how a species goes extinct, is it loses its metabolic capacity to concentrate light energy. Light per cubic centimeter is how life occurs. Biosis is the interconnected relationships that make life possible. You undermine those relationships, you decrease the number of relationships per cubic centimeter, and you start to see this pattern evolving of a decrease in repair and regeneration. And so your rate of repair versus your rate of injury suddenly goes out of whack. And a previous rate of injury of eating bread, gluten has a slight impact on your gut behavior, slight decrease there, and you lose fidelity, and the whole thing starts to degrade. So I've spent the last 15 years of my life building systems with people around us that are already tuning into this wider antenna to say, what does biology look like fully supported? So we've created these online programs called Journey, which is journeying humanity back into natural systems to fully support not only the biology and the way it repairs and regenerates, but fully open up the antenna to remember what we were supposed to be doing here, to remember what it feels like to be between heaven and earth, to be floating in this cosmic stew of curiosity, creativity, productivity. That's what's going to make humans humans again. It's when we allow our children to become between again and start to stop being programmed into machine-like behavior and start to open up their antenna. We can decide to do that as a society and proactively go about this, or autism will emerge to the point where 1 in 3 children will have autism by 2035, and we do this anyways. We are going to develop a neurology to escape our mechanical history. Our anti-nature, antibiotic nature is going to come to an end, because bodies are always going to win. Nature's always going to reinvent herself out of whatever stressor is pushing on her right that moment. Right now, human behavior is pushing on nature. If we stop doing that and we let nature come back in, we get to be part of the solution. We become part of it. We step right back into the right relationship with the keystone species.
If people want to see more of this and they want to read more about it, what is your website?
Wow. Yeah. So he's saying that, like, humans we are nature. We're part of nature. And in the past few hundred years, we've been separating ourselves from nature. And if you were to ask someone, I don't know, I feel like if I were to go ask someone on the street if they are part of nature, they'd probably say no. Instinctually, I don't know. But he's saying that the reason autism is becoming so prevalent is because that it's necessary. It's like humans fighting from this world of mechanical things and jobs and fake light, and like we're fighting from it. So, and that's how, like, if we don't do it the easy way, nature forces us to do it in harder ways. Like, he's saying something else interesting was the gender, I think he said like gender dysphoria, but like, because when the baby or when the embryo, whatever, is deciding its gender in the womb, it takes a ton of energy, and energy is, I guess, a lot amount of light per cubic unit, whatever. But what he's saying, because we're lacking that energy, that we're not having as much, oh yeah, I will take that. I'm literally right here, so I'm gonna do my shopping, and it's at a house, so that's perfect. $15 about for 2.5 miles. I'll take that. But yeah, like, I feel like the reason we're having all this political stuff about gender, like the trans stuff and all that is because there is a real gender dysphoria in the world, and more people are having babies that aren't necessarily a certain gender, and so they're trying to make politics to make that acceptable, because it's probably going to keep on happening unless we get back to our nature and government, big brother, and that's the last thing they want for us. So it is 8:49. I'm going to go do this trip. I'm going to grab some food while I'm in there for dinner. Probably. Peace out. It is now 9:03 p.m. We've got a 8-minute drive. A really easy trip. It was just 2 different items total. So we'll be there in about 8 minutes. I did not get food actually, just because I was on like the home furniture side of Walmart, and the shopping lanes there, the express lane, I was able to get right in. But on the other side, you could see that the lanes on the food side were a lot longer, and I just didn't want to take an extra 5 or 10 minutes. So I'm gonna get food somewhere else. I have some food at home, but nothing I want tonight. But I still don't know what I want, so we'll still see. But yeah, I'm about to go driving. Alright, that was super easy. It is now 9:15 p.m. I still don't know what to get for food, but I've got to get out in front of this person's house, so. Made here to Safeway. I'm gonna get some food. Still not sure what I'm gonna get, so I'm gonna do some browsing and see what they got. This order keeps coming up. It's the same one, but I'm not near it, so I'm not doing it. I'm gonna turn this off. Actually, it's 9:30. I'm gonna get up tomorrow to start in the morning, so I'll get some sleep tonight. Alright, I made it home. I'm excited. I got some things that I haven't gotten in a long time because I've been delivering for Walmart and seeing what other people are getting. Not necessarily the exact same thing, but I've been seeing people getting chicken nuggets, and I haven't had chicken nuggets in like 5 years probably. So I got myself some chicken nuggets, frozen chicken nuggets. I got a thing of fruit for $5. So I love fruit. I love vegetables, all that stuff. And then I've been seeing people get this as well, or this kind of thing. Freaking frozen burrito. It's one of the big ones. Kind of big. So yeah, that's it for the day. Nothing too crazy. It's 9:50 p.m. right now. didn't make much. Started at pretty much 5 p.m. and I just did, was it 3 orders total? I'm gonna pull it up right now. So it was 15 plus 15 plus 30, so $60 for 5 hours of work. Only 12. I mean, the last hour pretty much I was just chilling. I was sitting in the car a lot, just doing nothing, listening to the podcast because good orders weren't coming through, and I just don't want to waste time on a bad order. So I'm fine with it. I paid for food for, I mean, a week if I'm not eating out. So sounds good to me. I'm gonna go eat this. Oh, I also got some smoky buffalo kettle whatever potato chips. So gonna be a good night. I'm gonna go in, edit this video so I can make another one tomorrow. Peace.